chat. Woo.
All right. It looks like we are live for the 12th episode of After Hours. We have our first official TechTuber guest on the. on the
Spilled some. Man, the Jar Jar might try to troll, dude. Like, it's got such a weird shape. It goes back and forth. Boop.
Oh, I'm so sorry. All right. Can you speak real quick? I don't even know if we can hear you. Can you say something?
Yeah, you should be able to hear me.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure I got you coming through the desktop here. Go ahead and
Oh,
keep.
I see what you've done. You've made me like, what is it? Not even 16 by 9. You've made me like a square.
Almost, but I'm still getting you vertically. So that's what I was saying. Like your head was like on the top of the frame, and then with Skype, there's like a gray bar that doesn't go away on the video chat,
Oh,
so it cuts it off even more, I think. And that's why I'm. Yeah. Anyway, there's my mouse over your face. So if you can see here are his
yep.
glasses. They're looking mighty fine right now.
Yeah. I'm a Pog champ as well. So can you Pog my audio up? They're saying you got to increase my
Yeah, no,
audio.
I did. Yeah. That
Okay.
was from the start. I didn't even think about your audio being that way. Um,
Yep.
Anyway, let's go ahead and start off with we usually don't cover news, but I actually like this. I like this format. It's just kicked back and just kind of chill. I want you to be very, very open and honest about
They're
this
still
stuff.
saying my audio is too low, so I mean, yeah, you gotta, I don't know, turn him up more. Am I maxed or what's going on?
Yeah, I got you maxed out, dude.
Oh, okay.
You sound
Yeah,
great coming through here.
okay, yeah. It's some of the, that's what I mean. That's why
Hmm.
you're using OBS. Yeah, that's why I went to XSplit because it was, I got these issues where you just couldn't volume match people, and then it crashed and all this stuff. I got to try OBS again, but that's why I went to XSplit. It just worked. I
Here,
don't
what I
know.
can do is just turn myself down, something
Okay,
like
in
that.
Portuondo, Greg's thanking you for the sub. I can do your like live chat stuff for you, dude. It's all good.
Okay, baller.
Yeah,
It's still
yeah.
loud.
My
All right,
audio is
let's
still
see.
too low, and if I start blasting it up this end, it's still not going to really matter. Like it's dB capped on this end, so
Yeah, dude, I don't know. You sound great in here, and
yeah.
I've used this before on with other Skype people. I don't know why it's not. It's just desktop audio. I mean, it's just coming through normal like any other thing.
Okay, yeah. It's just saying my audio needs a boost, so
I'm
still
gonna
low.
turn
Yep.
me down again. Let's keep going lower.
Yeah, so if you
This will
just
be
lower
good.
yourself and then boost everything, I don't know, that might do it.
Well, I can't even boost anything past what it's already at. Like my soundboard's controlling me. Like I've only got it at like 30%. But
Oh.
okay, so I think it's safe
Yeah.
now to say that if you turn up everything,
Yeah.
I'll make sure I don't peak on my end, and I'll try to match my amplitude with his. I think we're
hmm
okay now. Yeah, you and I are about the same.
I mean, I can try upping my mic if it's
So
still
we'll
too low
see.
as well. I can do a little bit of a boost. It's up to the audience, so
Okay, we'll see
I'm
what they
uneasy
say
about it.
now. I'm not sure
I might just raise my chair up so you got like half.
how.
Yeah, like I'll go here so then you can see half my head will be chopped off and that'll be pretty cool. I'm just watching
It
it sort of
literally
live.
is.
It is.
No, it looks like I don't know how to set up a live stream. Dang it. I wanted to impress people here with this
Oh,
10-minute kind of just mashup of two windows. I'm literally like streaming a window for your box, and then I'm just got you right in that section of it, which is why you can
okay,
see my
yeah. So
mouse.
yeah, people are
Mm,
saying we're both low now. So yeah, we're both
yeah.
quality
Quality
content.
content.
It
Oh
is.
yeah. You guys
Yeah.
know. Yeah, if we're both low, just turn us up. There is no, I mean, you guys can max this out. That's about all we can do at this point, unless Brian on his end jacks his mic way up.
I can try. Hey, I
You
can
sound
try.
good to me, though. That's what I'm confused
Okay, is
about.
that worse? Is that louder now? So I mean, that's if I go
Yeah,
any
you
more,
sound
it'll
good.
start introducing noise if I
Okay.
do any louder. So that's about as loud as I can go. Keep
Okay.
in mind, I don't like changing the settings because of the live stream I do over at my channel. Like it's all set up
Yeah.
like perfecto. So yeah. Um. Okay. Yeah, because we got to. You always got to. Yeah, you've always got to sort out audio. So,
Yeah, dude, I
and
don't
that's
know,
what I mean.
man.
People.
I can't even. I like
People.
that's as high as you can go. I don't.
That's crazy.
I don't know why it's
People.
not
People are
going
like,
away.
I'm watching a video of two men whispering.
Actually, let
Oh
me
no.
check something. I think I know what it is. I think it's in Skype. Let me open up the volume mixer.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
If
Your
I just
volume and Skype and yeah,
crank you
yeah.
up.
But if you
Um,
do that, you gotta be careful because I just upped my mic. So Everyone's already maxed out their volume too, they're saying, and we're still low.
Okay. We'll see. I hate it's delayed, but we'll see if that actually helps. This is
What is this?
I've moved you up. I don't know if this is actually you though, or if it's just what I'm hearing that I'm turning up. I'm just in the volume mixer right now. But that might have been
Okay.
why you were
Yeah, some people will be like, "Oh my god, you fixed it." So
like, yeah, randomly.
yeah, it'll be a talk show and a Q&A. So like people are asking, is it going to be a talk show and Q&A? We're gonna. This is the first time Greg and I have teamed up, so we're gonna do what's best for you guys. If you whatever you guys sort of like, we'll sort of start going more in that direction. Um, of course, just make sure you don't get anything else with the word "rection" in it. You know, that's just a little warning.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing though. We want this to be as like, as personal as possible. These live streams are meant
Yeah,
to, yeah, answer you guys' questions. That's why I always do the Q&A on my end. But like
sound is good now. Okay.
yeah, but the the news stories too. I like the introduction of that. I know it's kind of something that a lot of people do, but what Brian and I were talking about was kind of bringing in the game stuff as well. Because like we've played games before, right, Brian? What kind of games you played growing
Yeah.
up?
Oh, growing up, man, it was Brood War, Warcraft 2, Neverwinter Nights, and the ones Baldur's Gate, like all the good stuff, man. Age of Empires 2, there was so many good games. Diablo 2 was pretty epic as well. All those times, man, it's kind of like, ugh, as you grow up, it's like you get the money, finance stress, man. It sucks. I
Yeah.
want to get back to being a kid playing video games again, not have to worry about the world. But yeah,
Uh,
it's life. We're
hardware
gonna.
and what's up? Get that Jar Jar Binks drink. Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah, get that Jar Jar in you. Okay. Oh man.
Hardware and Tequila says talk about new CPU Z390. We already talked about Z390 on Brian's channel. Go check out his. Is your live stream archived already?
It should be. I mean, you should be
Okay.
able to check it out. Go check it out if you haven't. We talked about Z390 a lot. It's going to be announced at Computex, but we've got Threadripper 2 and B450 more, and Fortnite on mobile and mobile gaming with these games. We're going to talk a little bit about that
Have
too.
you
Yeah,
played?
Greg.
Have you played? Let's start with that. Have you played Fortnite or PUBG on mobile?
I don't play
Or not
anything on
Fortnite,
mobile,
PUBG.
man. That's when you know, like, for me personally, that's when I know my life has hit a new low. Is when I'm playing. Is when I'm playing games on my mobile phone. It's like, no way. Like, it's just. It's like, okay, why are you not on your PC enjoying your stuff? You know what I mean? Like, you got these mad gear GTX 1080, and you're playing game on a mobile phone. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
We're enthusiasts. We know better than this.
Yeah. Yeah, I can say I played PUBG on mobile probably a total of 7 or 8 times.
You did?
There was the whole thing about like bots. Like the first couple games, you play like mainly bots, and that's why it's super easy. And like that's supposed to be their way of kind of keeping you around and make you think that you're good, right? So you want to keep playing. But
Yep.
I always feel like I'm playing against bots because apparently like people suck on that game. Like they're trash. And I'm trash. Like I'm terrible. It takes me 5 seconds to even lock onto a person if he's right in front of me. Because it's just awkward doing it on a screen. So it's.
So,
I don't know.
but my question is everyone on mobile, like, do they mix the mobile and the PC players, or it's just the mobile players?
It's just mobile. I think it's a totally
Okay.
separate thing.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah,
you
so
just, like,
everyone
it's
sucks. Like everyone's at the same.
like retarded royale. Yeah.
Now, if they brought out like a controller, or something that you could like Bluetooth to your phone and then do it that way, that would be something different. I would almost be serious about
cool.
that because you could totally take that anywhere you want. Like it's having a laptop, but like phone graphics, but having the same capabilities. You're limited to a controller, not a keyboard and mouse. But maybe they'll even come out with that at some point.
Oh well, I was remembering those. There was the Black Ops guys on the console, and they would be like, they'd be playing on console, but they had a mouse and keyboard and all this gear hooked up, and they'd just be going around wrecking console scrubs. And it was like, this was on, this is back in the Black Ops 2 streaming days, and it was kind of like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
You're really not like, for me, it's like go play people on PC as well, because the Black Ops 2 PC scene was very competitive. Like there was pretty good people there. And of course, you just watch them afterwards. If you think someone's hacking, you just watch them,
Yeah,
spectate
yeah.
them, and then
Exactly.
be able to see straight away.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
it's
with
pretty cool.
this mobile stuff, I don't know. Like I guess you could kind of Did you ever play? Because I know you were a big fan of Black Ops 2. Did you ever play the COD Zombies? Like, was that like your thing? Like, did you play it for
No,
that, or 'cause some people
it
did?
was just it was like tags and just deathmatch.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the what was the tag mode called again? Where you pick up the
Oh,
just the
kill
tags.
confirmed. Yeah, kill
Yeah,
confirmed.
Kill Confirm was amazing for leveling up. Like you'd go as soon as you bought the game, it'd be like bang straight into or
Yeah.
leveling up a character, get the tags, and then after that you'll just play team deathmatch and go around with Silent Footsteps because that was a good thing. Silent Footsteps really makes it more competitive. Like
Mm-hmm.
people sound whore in like PUBG especially, man. It's like these guys are sound whoring on a new level. It's like I don't want to damage my ears, you know?
That's me.
Oh,
We were playing that
yeah.
just a couple days ago. I'm like, dude, I got my
Yeah.
like my volume's maxed out. Like, I can hear footsteps from 500 yards. It's beautiful.
I'm over
It's
it, man. Like I wonder
so
in
good.
tournaments if they can limit the volume of a headset so like people can all play on the same level. Because you have some dudes there. He's like, yo, look at my ultra sensitive headset. Oh man, I can hear this dude coming from 2 miles away. What? Like no one can hear someone coming from 2 miles away. Come on,
Yeah, I've
let's be
always
realistic.
wondered. I never. I need to ask Lisa this because she still works. She still works in that industry. I want to ask her if they, I don't know what the limit is to like how level the playing field has to be. Right? Do you need the same keyboard and mice? Like, do you need the exact same peripherals? Do you need the same headset?
Nah,
Do you
no,
even
you
need the
don't.
same
No,
desktop? Like the same
no.
screen? Right? So if you
You
can control all of that, then you're at your own. You're your own limitation basically, and then at some point you're
yeah.
limited by the hardware. But that's why like people play with certain mice, like they're brand loyal to BenQ or Corsair or whoever, because that's all they play with when they go to tournaments and
It's not
when they
like it's not
practice.
just that. It's like if you especially if you use a mouse in tournament, you got to use your own. If you're using one that's just provided by you, so many players will just not even play in that
Yeah, that's
tournament.
true.
It's wrong. You can't have someone who's experienced on one set of gear
Yep.
to it's like going to a race tournament and saying, you're used to driving a 35 GDR around the track. Here's some Hyundai. It's good. It's
Hmm.
like, yeah, I won't take your word for that. So So, we got some questions though. Do we want to do a topic first, or we got some questions
We
in
can go
chat?
through. Yeah, let's go through the chat first. We got a couple super chats. We'll hit up first. Matt Kyle says my thermals are through the roof, averaging 94 degrees C on Overwatch, high 1080p. Would you recommend getting a new GPU or going for a water cooling solution like an AIO? So he's talking about his graphics card temperatures.
Is it
Um,
which graphics card is it?
yeah, that's what I would ask too. Like if you got
Because I
like a
mean,
R9 290 blower cooler, like that's
mm,
perfectly normal operating temps. Like that's gonna it's gonna hit 90 easy. You might even throttle
like
a little bit.
if it's an Nvidia card and you're in a budget case, 80 degrees is normal. Like it's not bad. Um, is yeah, it depends on your ambient temperatures and everything. Like people are asking for bogans as well and parts hunts as well. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna be doing like a tour of Asia. I think like just watch the new videos. The new videos pay the bills. Like when I post a new product, be like, yeah, this is the best video ever, man. In the comments, like
Hmm.
it. Give us all watch time because all that money, man, all the money I make off the new parts goes into the used parts. And one of those things I want to do is tour Asia
Yeah.
and do like used parts in the Philippines, Vietnam, Hong Kong, and maybe even go to Europe and UK and the US. Man, I'd love to tour these places and just bogan it, like really, like literally a bogan in the US. Could you imagine that? Hey mate, you got this graphics card on Craigslist here, $200. Would you take say 130 for it, mate? So straight up and bring the bogan. People love it. And hey man, I I can't do like used parts is so hard to do off its own back. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? That's why I had to start reviewing new parts and all that because there's affiliate links, there's all the products, and
Yeah, and used parts too. You got to buy your own stuff, right? Like,
yeah,
especially when you're in the bigger. Like, look, guys, we review a ton of stuff. If we bought everything we reviewed ourselves, we would be broke.
yeah,
And that's why when people bring up the whole thing about like, well, you're getting review samples for free, like you're automatically, dude. I've taken dumps on products I've gotten for free and from big
yeah.
companies. Like, we're
Hey,
not
like
afraid to do
dude,
that.
I took a
Like,
dump on the Azrock is sponsoring my channel. I took a dump on their product. That almost cost me my sponsorship, but that's
yeah,
what I'm about. Like at the end of the day, I got into this gig to always give the viewers that buyer's perspective, and that
yeah,
it's never going to change.
yeah,
Sure, you take sponsorships, you take in build, in stream ads or whatever you're signing up for, but as long as and I've asked my viewers time and time again in the past about this. As long as you're keeping that review. That's what they want to see, the honest opinions.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing stuff, if I got ASRock plastered in the background, whatever, they don't care. No one cares about that. I got an ASRock mouse pad here. No one cares. You probably see the ASRock logo. That's part of the sponsorship agreement. I give them subtle marketing in the background.
But
And
yeah, and that's the
it
thing.
pays
Like
the
people
bills.
think that automatically, like sways your opinion and stuff. But that's like you just said.
Yeah.
What was it? The Pro 4 review or one of the motherboard reviews that you did where you were you were
Yeah.
critical of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Like
X370 Pro 4. Yeah.
yeah.
So,
So like that's something that the way that I see it personally is like, if a company isn't willing to work with me over one negative review or a review they're not particularly fond of, I don't want to work with that company to begin with. Like if you're
yeah.
afraid of losing a sponsor or a tech company that supports you with components, then because they might be spiteful based on your feedback, whether it be negative or just non-existent, then that's not someone I want to work with anyway. I don't want them as a long-term sponsor or supporter. So it goes both ways. We have just as much say so in what we show on our channel as they do. Like we run this on our end, and it's at the end of the day going to be for the viewers. And if the viewers see inconsistency, if they see dishonesty, that's it for us. And so we favor that. We weigh that way more than we do any sponsor, because at the end of the day, you guys control whether our channels even exist at all.
Well, for me, it's a loyalty thing, man. My viewers put me here.
Yeah.
They put Tech Yes City where it is. Like, my viewers always come first. I don't get crap about a company. That's what I mean. Like, if worse came to worse and the company stopped sending me product altogether, I'll go back to working full time and doing Tech Yes City part time. And just doing used parts. It doesn't bother me. There's always that used parts in the scene is always going to keep going on the channel. Sure, I get backlogged where I got all these new products at the moment. I've just finished that, so we got some used content coming in the next week. Yeah, like, that's what the problem with this stream with me and Greg is we agree on stuff too much. We got to start disagreeing on stuff. This is going to be like a circle.
I was gonna say I agree too about the used stuff because I built my channel on selling PCs on sites like Craigslist. That was how I was able to keep cycling through components and early on, because I didn't get free stuff from companies. So anyway, all right. Someone said the title is Live Q&A, guys, not my beautiful conversations with Tech Yes City. So let's scroll.
And, on the internet, guys, internet only, like IRL, I don't swing both ways. But in the internet, man, I play a female character. It's all good.
All right. What do you say we fire through some questions here? Let's keep these, let's try to answer these questions in 30 seconds, 15 seconds apiece. Just try to move through them, because I want people to feel like they're getting their questions answered. Let's see. I'll just go through some here. Wow. Now that I say that, I can't even find a question. What is a good Intel build with a GTX 1070 for under $1,400? Can you please read this and give an answer? Go ahead, Brian.
Say it again. GTX. What does he say?
Yeah, he wants a good Intel build with a GTX 1070 for $1,400 US.
8400 GTX 1070. Grab the budget Z370 motherboard, 16 gigabytes DDR4, 650 watt power supply, because that's future proof. Grab a budget case. A decent one would be I think the Silverstone ones are getting harped on about being awesome. If you had the budget, I'd go with an Air 540. That's me personally, and call it a day. And then pocket the rest. Pocket the rest, seriously. 8400's my choice for gamers. If you just want a game, 8400's where it's at, because you're going to save money on your power bill over the long run too. I tested that thing. It is so efficient.
Are you using that to stream? You were telling me you were using that to stream too, right?
I use the 8400 to stream. It's in my mini ITX rig. I'm going to be using a Computex to edit videos. It's i5 8400's it. Don't listen to the people who are like, oh, you can go get the Ryzen and overclock it. If you're just gaming, it's ring bus. It's snappy. It's the best for gaming at the moment. Not only that, it works better with lower RAM speeds, so you don't have to go out and buy Samsung B-Die price fixed memory and get ripped off. So that's just my opinion on it, man. I ain't gonna beat around the bush, and I never beat around the bush when people ask me for honest advice, because that's what I would be doing. If you've got your Ryzen opinion or you've got any other opinion, go do what you want to do. I don't really care. Drop a hater comment, but that's what I'd recommend to people. That's what I'd recommend to my friends, because it's better at the moment for gaming. If you want to do Adobe Premiere Pro video editing, change over to Ryzen 2600X. they're both really good.
See, that's where I think I'll start to disagree. Not because I want to pander to the AMD fan
Yeah, it's
base.
okay.
It's a
Yeah.
different, like, I still agree. Like, the 8400 is still a better gaming chip, right? And people go
Yeah.
into this, and he says right there, right, a good Intel build with a GTX 1070. I'm not sure what he's going to do with the build. I presume primarily gaming. But here's the thing. Like, when people say, like, I only want a game, what should I buy? And my first thought automatically is Intel, right? But the thing is, if you want to look at it from that future-proof standpoint, it's just harder for me to rationalize an 8400 when you could get the red team's counterpart, give away 10 FPS. Like, honestly, like, that's about the delta you're gonna have there. You can overclock the sucker. You don't need it, a really expensive board. Neither do you now for Intel, but we had to wait for that. And the second gen Ryzen stuff is still great with memory. It's much better than it was with first gen.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I would say
You still got to your X&P profile.
Yes.
Like the 8400 is just like
Yeah,
bang and go.
I know. Yeah,
for
I
a
never
guy
have a
building
problem with
his
that either.
PC.
Yeah,
So
that's
asking,
true.
asking the question as well, he's probably newish to PC building.
Yeah,
That's all.
it's just tough for me to. I don't know. It's tough for me to say go with the i5 only because like that might not be what you do a year from now, unless you plan on sticking with this PC for 5 years. Like going with something like a 2600 is not going to cost you any extra, and it's gonna to me it's gonna last longer. So I almost feel like there's more value in that, even though you're not going to have the best gaming experience. Put them side by side. Let any of us be the judge. I guarantee you 9 times out of 10 you're not going to know the difference between the two. But you will know the difference if you decide to stream while game. That's the catch. Like, that's the whole
see,
thing.
1600X. Well, it depends. If you use, I go with GPU utilization on the streaming, man. I gotta still again. That's the video I gotta make. I just really no time for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, GPU encoding's like it. Grab your GTX 1070's got its own built-in encoder, man. So it's like utilize it.
I'm curious to see how that works while gaming, though.
I tested it at IEM. Like I tested it at IEM, man.
Did you see like any difference in frame rate at all?
Well, I was doing blind ABs with people, man. I used all those people in the room as blind ABs, and people like the GPU encoding was the smoothest.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't know, man. It's one of those things we got to look into, do an actual full like investigation,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, for me, I just know my gut, man. I've tried all sorts of streaming. For me, it's like GPU encoder, bang. And so if you're serious about streaming, right, you're gonna want to have good bit rates. You're gonna want to have good bit rates to begin with. And if you're not, move to a place where you can get good internet.
Dude, I've been looking for a place to live after this lease is up, and I'm seriously basing my decision on where I live solely on my ISPs. Like whoever I have available, if I don't get who I'm with now or somebody as good as who I'm with now, which WoW is excellent here, then I'm not gonna move there. I don't care how nice the house is or how cheap the lot is. I just can't do it. And I'm spoiled with what I have now.
Yeah. So my internet's okay.
Is it? What are you getting down and up?
Like 450 down, like 44 down, and like 12 up. So it's doable.
Okay. Yeah, I had that. In school, I had roughly that. It's not a big. You just notice it really like when you're downloading games on Steam. Like it just there's a 9-day difference there. But uploads, that's more. That's why usually uploads are prioritized a lot less traffic wise than downloads. Anyway, people do a lot more downloading. Okay, I see one here. By the way, to the answer to that question, if his graphics card is running too hot, first thing I would do if you're comfortable with it, like tear it apart, change the thermal paste. It sounds like you might have something wrong with that to begin with. That would be the first thing I would do, just because you don't have to spend any money, save some time, and maybe a bottle of paste. That's really about it.
Especially if it's been used on mining. Like if you're buying a card off a miner, card will be okay, but you've got to change the thermal paste. Just take it from a dude who used to have a mining rig. So really make sure.
Yeah.
So
Matt C asks, what type of music do you guys listen to?
I'm all about that 80s, baby.
Oh,
that
yeah.
80s flow. I also listen to a bit of like drum and bass as well. Been getting into a bit of that. There's some really good mixes out there.
Okay.
A lot of the new school stuff that comes out, like in terms of the rock and all that, I'm really not keen on it. I just don't hear any passion in the music. It's just all like, hey, I want to make money, and that's pretty much what they're singing. They even sing it in the lyrics too. It's like, hey, I want to make money.
I never thought of it like that.
I don't
Oh, now it's never gonna be the same for me.
And even if they're not, even if the lyrics aren't like I'm not, I want to make money. It's like you can probably hear it. If you amped that volume up about 10 times, you probably hear this guy whispering in the background, "Make that money, make that money."
Well, I mean, to give him credit though, it's a lot. I don't know exactly how it works, but I know that the fact that people can just rip songs from online now and not pay a dime, like, I feel like that's really got to hurt. I know they have plenty of like, they get stuff behind the scenes. They get plenty of ads and they travel concerts everywhere. They sell merch. Like they have plenty of revenue streams. But like, I just wonder how heavy like these bands and these record labels are being cut right financially because of the digital age and the fact that we can get music. Like you can download a song that you listen to on YouTube. Like you can just straight up. You just rip it from YouTube. Like used to be you had to buy a CD or a cassette tape for that, like you had no choice but to go through them.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, that's of course back in the day, the groups used to make a killing, man.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like they deserved it. Now I listen to all this new crap coming out. It's like, yeah, you ask a young 10-year-old, yo, you know who Pearl Jam is? They got no idea. Like, what?
I'm so
You
glad I know who
really?
Pearl Jam is. I'm so glad I do.
Yeah, it's like you guys don't know. Like, what? Anyway,
My dad grew up
yeah,
listening to 80s rock. That's why I loved it. That was all I listened to in the car, like AC/DC, Scorpions, Pearl Jam, Great White, Judas Priest, Def
Yeah.
Leppard. Yeah, any 80s rock band you can think of, I probably listened to their songs just because it's
dude.
it's
Even
just,
got some good Aussie bands back then too.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, dude.
I was listening to No
Nice.
More Tears a few days ago. I was like, oh man,
Alright.
I was like, this is pretty
You
sweet.
have you heard of Noiseworks or?
No,
Okay,
don't
gotta get
think
them on
so.
that cracking.
You're gonna send me a link, right?
No. I'll do it after stream. I'm gonna pull up music like, hey guys. This
Oh no,
stream just
don't
went
worry.
really bad. It's terrible.
No, I mean, yeah, I want to hear it after though. I'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Okay, let's see here. Mark Etherton says I just subscribed to both channels. Appreciate that.
Sweet. Appreciate
Alexander Kiros. I don't know if I said that right. Give a hug for my friend at PC Gaming TV Brazil. Here's your virtual hug. Thanks for that $10 R super chat, whatever R is. Eric says used parts here in the Philippines are not the best. So,
There is one spot, like someone said there's one spot in the city, or it's just, I don't know. Someone tell me there is a spot in the Philippines that's cracking. So, yeah.
figure that one out.
And India, I got to do India as well, man. Got to do like all
I would
these
love to
all
go to
these
India.
countries. I'd have to do the tour, man.
Yeah.
And then like I'll immerse myself in the culture. You got to come along, Greg, for the ride.
I would love
Road
that.
trips. Oh, not road. I wouldn't road trip India, man, because don't they have like the highest fatality rate on the roads or something in the world?
I
Like,
think-
it's just dudes.
I think that's for
dying, right?
pedestrians, though.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Oh, so
possibly.
if you're in the car, you've got a you
hit
got a pretty
people.
good rate. Yeah.
I don't know. Just off the top, of my head, I feel like that would be worse than the than being in.
So
That's,
if you're
that's
driving,
not funny.
if you're driving,
That's not
if you're
funny.
driving,
I'm sorry.
yeah, no. If you're driving, your KDR is pretty high. But if you're
That's not good. I'm sorry. We're in game mode. I'm thinking PUBG. I'm thinking of just like, I'm thinking of this helpless PUBG character. Like this dude is just like hauling, trying to get out of the way of my Jeep. But like, I know I got him, right? Like he just knows it's coming. He just sits down. He takes a knee and he just takes it. Like that's what happens. Oh god, Ninja Sauce. Thank you for that $5 super chat. How much more RGB lights do I need to add to my case to win at Fortnite? That sounds like a Brian question for sure.
say that again, I can be like,
How
I'm
many
reading
more?
the question.
How many more RGB lights does it need to add to a system to win at Fortnite?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I'd go with 13. 13's a pretty lucky number.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, most strips have like what 8, so maybe 2 strips. You're good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe a little.
that's it,
overkill.
and that'll really help you win in Fortnite, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, have I been scammed on Gumtree? As a quick one, yeah, I've been scammed a few times. It's actually funny. I'm making a video now, sort of talking about getting scammed. Yeah, I've been hosed a few times, man. It's part of the gig. Been hosed in Japan, been hosed in Australia. And the worst thing about getting scammed is if you're new to buying used parts and you get scammed on your first deal, that would really deter you. See, I didn't get scammed until like about, at least a good 6 months in, and I was buying a lot of parts. So if it's your first deal and you get hosed, it's really going to deter you from the used parts scene, which sucks. Just yeah, I don't know. But that's, I mean, if it's your first time and you don't buy used parts much, really just take your time. Like, go to the dude's house and be like, yo, I want to see this part working before I buy it.
Yeah.
Whatever. So,
Singuy888, how do you feel about the new GT 1030 DDR4 performing at half the speed of the original GT 1030 while costing the same considering the whole GPP fiasco?
you were going to talk about GPP today, weren't we?
I actually think I was. Yeah, I have a video on it where I kind of just like spill the beans about what they spilled the beans about. And it was really nothing. I mean, the whole GPP thing, like, I never really wanted to jump on board to begin with about how it just seemed a little shady,
I,
you know.
yeah, it's just, look, these, if anything, it falls back on whatever country you're in and the laws. Obviously, Nvidia is really manipulating the laws and bending the rules, sort of thing, to suit their company. But oh man, I'm not gonna. Like, I've got some real like insider stuff that I can't share because I've been promised to not share it. But this is already going on with other companies, not Nvidia. It's already happening in the industry.
Yeah.
So this has just been a big fanboy circle jerk, hate on Nvidia. Nvidia's not the first person to do this crap in the industry. It already is happening. It's already going on, and I'm not going to say any more. That's all. The people I spoke to in real life, I've been told stuff in strict confidence. But yeah, this already happens. It already happens, and I don't want to make people lose their jobs. This crap already goes on, and it's sad.
What I think the problem is,
And the worst thing is, the price fixing thing came out, and people cared more about GPP, a freaking gaming logo. They cared more about that than getting ripped off at the store for like $50 on a 8 gig kit, $100 on a 16 gig, $200 on a 32 gig kit. People give a shit about more about a gaming logo than losing $200 on a 32 gig kit. Where are people's priorities at?
here's where I see it. I think Nvidia kind of did it to themselves, because while the RAM price fixing thing, right, is happening and people experience both high graphics card prices and high RAM prices, they experienced it heavily at the end of 2017. We're still experiencing part of that now on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
I think what pissed me off personally about the way Nvidia did it was that they were so blunt about it. Like, they were just so like, hey guys, here's this, and we're gonna try to pass it off as like it's totally cool. Like, we're totally okay with this, like, and we don't see any moral or like ethical issue with it. And I really do wonder what would have happened if this had actually played out. I mean, look, AMD had to respond, right? They kind of forced AMD's hand here, and I wonder how that's gonna, if it even fizzles out, how that's gonna play. But I think what I had an issue with was the fact that Nvidia tried to make it seem as though it wasn't going to be this like anti-competitive agenda, when on the surface it kind of did seem that way. I mean,
it's anti-choice. Like, it's anti-choice for sure. That's what it is. Like, it, in terms of how much it's raising the product costs, I don't think it'd raise it like minuscule at best. Like, that's why I was looking at DDR4 price fixing versus GPP. It's like, wow, there's a massive difference for the end consumer. I mean, yeah. Anyway, the saddest thing to come out of all this is, do you know, like, do you agree? Like, do you think the Ares RX 580 looks so freaking cool? Have you seen it?
The Ares, the AMD branded stuff?
Yeah, like Asus's Ares brand. Oh, it looks good.
Really?
Like, I'm not gonna lie, man. I love the look of that. I was like, damn.
I don't have a problem with that kind of differentiation.
Like, it looks better than ROG, man. I was like, damn. Like,
yeah.
If they're selling Ares like next gen AMD stuff, man, that looks good.
You got to come down a little more in price, and then I'll be on board there. I haven't. The last graphics card I bought was at Best Buy. It was a GTX 1070. I bought it for $400. Reference card, believe it or not. It was like in the middle of October, dude. It was when prices were so high, and I saw it on the shelf for $400. I was like, "There's no way they're gonna honor this. These tags are wrong." Sure enough, they did. I should have bought both of them while they were there. I could have flipped one. But
yeah, someone showed me on Twitter they got like a GTX 1070 machine for like $400, like a whole Dell. I forgot the deal, man, but it was just like insane. It was like an used PC or something, and I was so jealous of this deal.
Yeah.
So I remember I was on Twitter sometime. Yeah, deals, man, get them deals. All about them deals, guys. Always get your deals. So we want to actually talk about a topic though, or are we just gonna
I've got a lot. I didn't change the name of the title, so it's a Q&A technically, which means that we need to actually be like answering a lot of questions really fast.
Okay. All right.
We
Oh, okay.
we
You go round robin if you want.
yeah, we gotta just run through some of these here because I feel bad that these people are asking all these questions and we're just like sticking with one for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Do just do quick and dirties round robin,
Yeah,
man.
that's what I'm thinking. Do a budget build stream and setup. Love your guys' content. What is your preferred game or program to benchmark? This is from Richard. What do you benchmark with? What do you love benchmarking with
But
the most?
if I only had one program, Fire Strike, bang. That's
Okay,
it. If I
okay.
only had one program, I could use the
That's true because
benchmark
it's
because
kind of
like,
everything in one, right?
yeah,
Like even yeah, that's true.
so relevant.
I like benchmarking GTA 5 as like a true game. I think GTA 5 it leverages everything very well, efficiently. A lot of people think that GTA 4 was a terrible PC port, but GTA 5 is actually optimized very well, especially for NVIDIA Intel systems. There's a bit of a bias there, but in general, it utilizes resources heavily on both sides. That's what you want to see in a well optimized system. Let's
Yep.
see. If you see anything, just read them off. All good.
Okay. Yeah, Moses says he's planning to sell my old PC on Gumtree. Will the person I sell it to message me for the next 6 months every time he has a problem? You just say in the ad, man. Just say like 1 week guarantee, and that's it. That's pretty standard for a used PC. After that, you don't want to hear about it. If it works for a week, man, it's working. Especially in PCs, PC parts generally work or they don't work. Especially if someone's been gaming on it for a week or 5 days, they're gonna know if there's a problem. So just say, look, 7 days, I'll help you out, and that's it in the ad. Um, yeah, when I sell a PC, it's usually about 30 days. Because yeah, after that, man, I don't want to be responsible for some dude ripping something out or plugging something in the wrong port. And it's happened, man. I've had guys blow up motherboards and be like, "Yo, can I get a refund?" I'll check it out. I'm like, "Whoa, I know exactly what you did here." It's like, no way. So that's a good thing about the used market. If you've got buyers who do dumb shit, you can just say, "Look, I'm gonna give you a refund." And it's harder in the new if you're selling new parts and you've got like, dude, I got a friend who works at retail over at Umart, and he tells me the stories about some of the stuff that they get sent back, and it's like, wow, guys just like bending pins and then taking the motherboards back trying to get refunds. It's like, you bent these pins, you can see like a fingerprint in the freaking socket. And so they don't, they technically they do have to honor a refund, I think, which is sad. So
Nenner Plant, should I get a Corsair H60i for a 2600X? Apparently, he's been asking this question a while. Sure, it's a decent. What? It's a single. That's a 120 mil rad, right? AIO. Yeah, H60i is fine. I think I've owned the H60i. It's perfect. I don't know what kind of. I mean, yeah, I guess sure. If you're looking at that, it's going to be perfectly fine for it. Just make sure it has AM4 support, because it might not. That's something you might need to check out. But other than that, sure, it's perfectly fine AIO. Okay, let's see here. What do you think of the new NVIDIA update requesting for data release to meet the EU Privacy Act? I've never even heard of that. I don't know about that.
Privacy Act, no.
I'll have to read. It's a European Union. I don't know. It's a European thing. I haven't
Okay.
seen it. I don't know yet.
Sorry, guys. Yeah.
GTX 1070 case and PSU, but I'm looking to upgrade my CPU, motherboard, and RAM. I want to stream games. That's kind of what? I don't know what that's in. All right. Do you think a B350 motherboard will be sufficient for Ryzen future generations if you only need light overclocking and single GPU? Yeah, as long as it's supported out of the box. I mean, I've proven in one of my videos that the second gen Ryzen runs perfectly fine on B350. You can even overclock almost equitably on a B350 board than you can with an X470. So yeah, sure. I think that AMD in general is going to be a little more future proof. You got fine wine on the GPU side, and AMD tends to be a little more loyal when it comes to upgrade paths. Just not having to require a new chipset with new CPU compatibility with every board release. Let's see here.
Round robin.
Oh yeah.
Get through them questions.
Boom 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 boom.
I've answered a few of them in chat. So
okay, cool.
It's all good. Live Q&A. Just ask him anything, guys. What's the meaning of life? I'll ask you a question.
Brian, I'm planning on selling my old PC. Oh, no, I just read that one. Was that the same question as you? Dang it, I should probably scroll down. Let's see here.
Yeah.
I'm seeing the good stuff. Going through some noise works. Too tough a choice. Can you make a mid-budget build with an 8600K? 8600K, GTX 1060, 16 gigs of RAM. Boom, there's your mid-budget build. Like that's it. You know, if it's all up to you. If you can get like, if you can squeeze out more money for a 1070, do it. And the only reason why I'm recommending NVIDIA primarily is because right now it's really difficult still to find RX cards. And they don't really have anything as powerful as a 1070 apart from Vega 56 and 64, which are virtually unobtainable right now.
Yeah, but the NVIDIA cards are more efficient, man. So it doesn't even matter. Like...
And that's true too. Yeah, they are. And I actually prefer NVIDIA software at this point. I actually, despite the change in the GeForce experience, which I hate, I love the older one better. I still like how easy and just comfortable it is to use Shadow Play. And I use that for virtually everything, screen capture wise. When will Cannon Lake come out? Please answer. There's no official date on that, is there?
No, no official word. Like, and I don't even know any rumors yet. So I know Computex is, well, pretty certain there's going to be a big announcement, C390 and the 8 core. I'm pretty sure that's hitting at Computex.
Yeah.
That's all we know for now. Okay. So, not. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what's going on, but yeah, you're going to see probably the announcement at the very least of the 8 core at Computex. So stay tuned for that. Yeah. So hit me up with questions. Hit Greg up with questions.
Let's see here. We have just got a K56 RGB. That's Corsair, right? K56.
Yeah. Kim Hyung asked a new graphics card or buy a 1060. I'd wait, man. That's because apparently new cards are in the works from NVIDIA as well. Yeah. And to be honest, NVIDIA, even if it doesn't hit Computex, even if there's not an announcement at Computex, NVIDIA are forced to do something. Pretty soon. They're forced to. There's no, like, if they want to keep making money, which they're a publicly listed company and they do, they're going to have to announce something soon. So it's like checkmate. They have to. Yeah. So don't worry. There'll be new graphics cards coming out soon.
Let's run through super chats real quick. I don't want to miss anybody. I've done that in the past. I feel bad.
Yeah, you got some good donations.
Let's see here. Nick Peril, 6 Peril, I think that's how you say it. Science Studio, will you do a face reveal at 500K? No, I think I'm gonna push it to 1 million. I'm worth more than 500K. That my face is definitely more important than 500. So I think I'm gonna keep it on the DL. Keep this little shroud on here for a while longer. Let's see here. We have Tech Therapy. Really glad you two are doing after hours together now. Donation purely for motivation. Cheers, Ronald. Thank you, Tech Therapy. Yeah,
he's awesome, man. He's really cool. Like, he's a patron.
Oh, is it the same guy in the other chat? Is that the same one?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
He's awesome.
That's
really cool, dude. So he makes custom water loop builds as well, like really full on custom loops.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is really good.
Fox Mulder, thanks for the content, guys. You both explain everything so well, and I love Tech Yes City's vids on the secondhand market. I think e-waste is an important issue, and e-recycling needs to be promoted more in Australia.
Yeah, it's so true, man. Here, like the tips, they'll grab the PC parts and they won't let the public touch them. It's like, come on, man. I'd love to go through some of these dumpsters and pick up some gold. Yeah. You know? And they won't let you do it. It's illegal here now. It's like, what?
Really?
It used to, like, dude, 10 years ago you could do it, though. It was fine. So they changed the laws. I have no idea why. And they just pretty much waste it all now. So.
This one says 120 gig, $50 SSD for a single hard disk drive. Build worthwhile? For a single, I don't understand. $50 SSD for a single hard disk drive. What are you talking about? Trading it or something? I'm kind of confused by what you're saying, Luke AU. Thank you for the subscribers and the sponsors. Sebastian, I see you. Welcome to the sponsorship row. And do keep in mind, Brian has. When did you activate your sponsor?
Like literally like 2 days ago.
Okay.
Literally 2 days ago. I should make a dedicated video. I don't know. You did a dedicated, yeah.
Yeah. I just kind of threw it up. It's like, hey, this exists now. If you feel like it's worth anything to you,
yeah,
just give it a shot.
I might do that and respond to that other video we saw the other day where some dude was calling us out for SCD keys or whatever it was.
You gonna call him out on it?
Well, maybe. I mean, he called like you and me and like a lot of other people out at the start of the video.
I know Tech Deals has done it. You've done it. Yeah. Tech of Tomorrow's done it. I'm trying to think of the other ones on top of my head.
It's a very simple topic. It's like we checked them out. They're a legit company.
Yeah, like
as far as I know, the keys are legit. So it's like that's usually how a marketing deal works. They pay us money and we market the brand as long as it's good, as long as it can save people money, which it does. I got no problems with it. So.
Yeah, a lot of people too were suggesting eBay. I know I've seen you do the eBay keys as well. That's
Yeah,
pretty reliable too.
eBay is like you've got that G2A element there.
Mm-hmm.
And so you don't like it's a reseller thing. You like, you know what I mean? SCD keys are direct. That's them getting the keys and then selling them to the public, as they're the entity selling the keys. Suppose the G2A, they're the guys just being the platform for marketplace. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sort of a different thing altogether. And of course the eBay keys are so cheap, man. It's like,
yeah.
So I think the verdict on the eBay keys is they could be legit, they couldn't be legit. I don't know. And honestly, I don't want to know. So keep it that way.
Yeah,
Just,
with
yeah, I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
With SCD key, I was telling Brian because I actually asked him. I was like, where do you get these keys from? You know, like a lot of people were saying that they came from stolen credit cards or something like that was like their default. G2A, I mean, that was something that G2A got blown up for, right? Because that's what people were doing, because they were just the platform. They were saying, well, you know, this is the buyer thing. They're not taking any responsibility for it. Whereas SCD Key, they've been doing this for, I believe they told me 10 years. They've been doing this for a long time. If they were selling illegal keys that were obtained by stolen credit cards, they would have, you know, come on. They wouldn't still be around. They wouldn't be doing exactly what they're doing now, regardless of which country they're operating out of. That would never be allowed to happen. So, you know, we do our due diligence, you know, up to that point. We make sure that we're not promoting stuff that's being stolen from other people beforehand. And the idea that that we're doing that and that we know that that's what they're doing is ridiculous. You know, like those comments were just like, just people. You know, like if you're that worried about it, then try your luck on eBay, you know.
$770 for $60. Yeah, I mean, I'd give that. I
saw that.
4 gigabyte. Yeah. That's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, I'd try and go down to a 50 if it's USD. Yeah, the greenbacks are strong. There's some strong dollars.
Yeah.
So you can probably barter with that 50, man. You'd be like, yo, I've got a 50 here for you, brother. And you'd take it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's probably why they do that. I mean, people like the solid bills, right? Give them a solid $50 bill.
Like keeping it, it's like 50, man. I'm gonna give you 50. Like, oh, I'll take it.
And the important thing too, you gotta flash the money, right? You gotta show them the money. That's when they know you're serious about it. And you still might have that $10 bill in the back pocket, right? You still might, because you don't know. You never met this person before.
Well, exactly.
You show them 50.
Be like, it could be a massive buff gym dude, and you're like, I don't want to mess with this guy. Here's your 10. Here's your man 60. Fine, take it. And jump straight in the car, just chin down.
Yeah.
Drive off. Don't want to get ganked IRL. But like you always go for the little snipes. When you know there's a good price, you can always go just a little snipe. You know, that's what I always do. And it's funny because like a lot of people have seen me do it IRL too. Because I got guys from Brisbane coming down, and we've been hunting parts here on the coast. And you always, $10 saved is $10 made, man. It's just it's a part of the deals hunt, you know. And I guess in ways it's like more fun than anything, right? That's what the used parts scene's about. It's about having the thrill of the hunt, sort of thing.
You ever get worried about the part just being a dud? You know, like that's what we were talking about earlier about getting ripped off.
That's what I mean. Yeah, you do. Like I've learned now to really suss it out. Like you've got to suss it out when it comes to a graphics card, especially, or a motherboard. They're the two you're gonna have them.
I was just thinking. I'm sorry. I was just thinking. Like, okay, on that topic, like if you were buying, let's say you were buying like a 780 or something, right? And you went to like some public place. Let's say you went to like the Walmart parking lot.
That's where I got
right?
scammed. That's where I got scammed.
Right. And so if you even if you pick a place like that, like I recommend it be in public. I wouldn't do it, unless you have someone with you in a place that's private, just in case, because you shouldn't trust people like that. But let's say you take like a generator, and then you take like a PC, and you just have it sitting in your trunk, right? And then this guy shows up. He's just expecting you to give him the money and you go, right? But you pull up. You're like, all right, give me 1 second here. I gotta do my due diligence. And you pop open the trunk of your car, preferably an SUV, and you just like crank start this generator. And you just pop that card in and give it a run right there in front of him. Like, I had to check, man. Dude, look, it's not that you don't trust that seller. You just don't trust anybody, like up front, just be bold about it.
Nowadays. It's hard to, man. It's hard to nowadays.
I know, and it's you're only doing yourself a favor when you go to links like that. I wouldn't, it's probably a little ridiculous to do that.
Man, you got them closet haters too, dude. You got them closet haters that be nice to your face, but behind your back, they're talking shit. Oh. Yeah. Please.
And that's the thing. Like usually, what people. You know what
Yeah,
people are doing that too. Yeah.
yeah.
I had a guy ask, what cases are you and I using right now? What's the case you're using in your personal rig?
What's it?
Your case? What case are you using on your
Oh,
PC?
Air 740. And the only reason I use the 740 over the 540 is because it's got the door. I like the 540 better, but the 740's got the door, so I can change GPU over for a quick test on the 8700K.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Um,
That's how about you? What's your case of choice?
the one I use the most is the Meshify C. I think my favorite case, and I said this in the video, my favorite case got to be the Lee and Leo 11 Dynamic. So far, I really love the
Yeah,
way that one
it's like
is.
Lee and Lee. I every time I think of their case, man, it's like crazy money. Yeah, how much do you have to drop for that
Oh, dude,
case?
it's not. It's like, it's cheap, man. Let me see.
Is it under 200 for a Lee and
Yeah,
Lee
yeah,
case?
it's under
Oh,
200. Yeah, it's. I'm pretty sure it's 129 for you get. So you get tempered
what?
glass on the front, on the left side. You get it's a stainless steel body. I'm pretty sure. They
It's a
they
Lee and
they
Lee case
they
for
moved away from
130 with
aluminum.
tempered glass.
Yeah, here. Yeah, I'll send it to you on Twitter
Looking in
so
the
you can
chat,
look at
looking
it.
in the whole chat where
Oh,
everyone
that's
can
true.
see.
Yeah, let's do that.
You got a
Um,
Camshaft Gaming. He says
there it is.
boxed Radeon R9 290X for 150. If that's USD, it's borderline, man. If it's a custom job,
Mm.
it's up to you. If it's a custom R9 290X, yeah. If it's a reference, I'd try and shave a few off it.
It's gonna be loud too, right? I mean,
Yeah,
geez,
if
like
it's
a
a
leaf
reference, man. If it's
blower.
a reference,
Woo.
yeah. If it's a leaf blower, man, I'd go down to 130.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Um,
that's
Aero
yeah.
756. What's everyone's favorite car? Do any of you have a favorite car? Big fan of the BMW E46 M3s. Okay, good choice. Good choice,
hmm
Aero. What about you, Brian? What's your favorite ride?
At the moment, the favorite car would be the 124
One,
Spider
two,
from Fiat
four.
Abarth.
Ooh.
Yeah, the
Ooh.
reasons being,
Please explain this one.
I just love it, man. So
Oh man.
more will come. Like after Computex, I'll sort of talk about. I've got a new car. I did pick it up on a real good deal. Like we're talking real good deal, man. So
Hmm.
I everything I touch is deals, man. Food. I even go down at like go down the markets at 6 p.m. Pick up four sausage rolls for $4 Australian, which would be like 3 USD.
Hmm.
Pick up four buckets of Chinese for 20 Australian. It's like 15 USD, man. I'm picking up deals wherever I go. Deals,
Yeah.
deals, deals.
Yeah. A lot of people
Yeah,
don't do that, dude. Like, seriously, they'll
yeah.
spend more money just for ease, right? Because it doesn't take them as much time to set up something. It doesn't take. I see how much people spend on cell phones, like the kinds of like contracts they'll get themselves on, how much they pay per
Ooh,
month. Dude, I
yeah,
use prepaid everything. Like, I'll get, I have the best carrier, but like I do prepaid all of it because, and I'll buy a secondhand phone because
yeah,
I'd rather stay a generation or two behind, and save $500 in the long run.
yeah.
It's just priorities.
Camshaft, dude. I feel guilty now, man. If he's on a budget and he's donating money, I mean, do you want the money back, dude? Like, you know,
Oh,
yeah, you don't have to donate money. If it's a CU2, man, that's solid, dude.
yeah.
Zeus made some really good coolers on the 290Xs and 390Xs,
Beefy heat
especially the
pipes too, yeah.
390s. Yeah, they really stepped up their game then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go all for that, but I'd try and still do a little snipe, man.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt to try and drop into 135 or something tactical. Like he's asking 150. No one pays asking price.
Mm.
So yeah.
Um, and Amin Ben, question about secondhand parts. OEM 128 gig SSD from Samsung for $30. Good deal. Um, I would say,
So
yeah,
what?
if it's secondhand, he's asking about a secondhand 128 gig SSD
Yeah.
from Samsung.
Yeah, it depends how many years
Yeah,
old
that
it is,
that's the
dude. You can
problem.
get
Yeah.
you can get brand new 120s for like $30 on Amazon or Ali, man. That's brand new.
Yeah, I think here in the
Uh,
States you can get them 120 gigs for about 40, yeah, 40 or
about
50.
$35, dude. I just did a video like in the store of my and
Really?
showed it to a couple of 120 gigs.
What brands were
So,
those?
some random brand, but you still get
Hmm.
warranty, yeah.
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 Yeah, I
Well, if an
was
SSD works, it works, man.
yeah, yeah, at that point I make sure the write speeds aren't trash because that's what a lot of them will typically do is they'll have decent reads. They'll be at around 450, right? But then the
Hmm.
writes will be 175, right? There's a huge disparity there. I just don't want to
Yeah.
be limited to hard drive write speeds or
It's the
and that.
4K random read and writes. You look at the
Yeah.
differences between the two, man. That's why I did these store in mine. You're like, so your games load, and the reason they load faster is because all those little files load quicker on the SSD. It's all the little files. The big files, man, they can still load fast on a hard drive.
Yeah.
That's what your sequential read and writes are for.
I would
So
question almost whether or not like that. You know how they say when they acid wash a CD or an SSD or something, right? They have those programs that'll write entire 120 gig files to fill up the entire partition, and then they'll delete it and they'll rewrite it like 10 times, right, to clear all the data. Because when you delete something, you're not deleting the actual data; it's still there. It's just waiting to be overridden by something else. So when people sell drives like that, they're worried about their data being compromised, right? Because you can buy a hard drive and dig into all that stuff if it hasn't been overridden yet, and that hurts the longevity of the SSD alone, right there, just acid washing it. So
Oh, you could do, what is it, the zero pattern, right, or something. It doesn't, like, it
yeah,
depends how you do it, what program you do it with. Yeah.
yeah,
You've got to know your shiz to really restore data that's been deleted. Like, it's not easy, especially if you've reformatted the drive a few times. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Have you ever restored data that's been deleted and flushed?
no, I
Like,
mean.
personally, have you done it? I haven't done it.
No,
I don't know how to do it.
well, not when it's been overwritten. When it's been overwritten, it's gone.
Mm.
That's why
Yeah.
when you have like data recovery software, as long as that data hasn't been touched by any other file that you install subsequently on that drive, it's 99 times out of 100 recoverable. But when it's overridden, even partially overridden by some other file, that it becomes very difficult because a lot of that data is just stored on random parts of the partition, and then they kind of group them all together to form the file when it's recovered, and it's tough to do that when fragments are missing.
Yeah.
Wayne Pritchard for that super chat. Try and snag a 980 Ti for under $400 or grab a 1070 whenever they're available.
I've already got a 980 Ti. I'm doing a build this month, like in like a week. There'll be a 980 Ti build coming. I got one for 350 AUD, which would be like 280 US for a 980 Ti.
That's what I would pay. I'd say about 300. 300 would be my target price for that because you're gonna get 1070 performance there. You're just not gonna get the same efficiency, right? The power.
Dude, say hello to Mario. He said he's a sponsor. He wants a hello from you.
Mario.
There
What's
we go.
going on, my dude?
He wants to be recognized. See, that's
Thank
what I mean.
you for that. See, I appreciate that, Brian. Thanks for telling me. I would have completely missed that on the topic I was on. Yeah, but
Dude,
thank you for
Mario
sponsoring.
needs to be recognized.
Mario Siller.
That's
Oh,
it.
he's gonna love this. He's gonna love that shout
That's
out.
it.
Hopefully, he feels like he
That's
got
it.
his money's worth there.
Yeah, just sponsor my channel now, Mario.
Yeah, no, come on. You gotta show Brian some love too now. Oh man.
Cough it up. Yeah.
Best Buy had a 1070 for $400. Mario says, "Oh, I wonder when." Oh, that's Mario Soto, different Mario. Well, we have two Mario sponsors.
Dude, you got two Mario sponsors. What the?
All
Dude,
right.
you got the invasion of Mario.
Dude,
That's pretty
dope.
king.
All right. Yeah, no, Best Buy did that. I actually mentioned that earlier, Mario. I bought a 1070 from Best Buy for $400, and it was in the middle of everything when all the prices were just inflated like crazy. So yeah, that's definitely a place you should at least look. Just to cross it out in your mind, so you're not wondering.
There's a fight between the Marios in the comments section. I love it. Keep going, sponsored Marios. Go at each other. Who's the better Mario? That's what I want to know.
Oh, jeez. Use your superpowers to get Fractal to make a Define R6 sized Meshify. Hope you stick to Saturday nights for this show. Great content, by the way. All right, so the Meshify. Oh, I see what he's saying. Okay, so the Define R6 sized Meshify, meaning he wants probably that extra space right between the motherboard. And are you familiar with fractal cases? Have you reviewed or built-in fractal cases?
Yeah, the R6. I did the R6, and that was it.
Yeah.
So
That
I liked
case
it.
is yeah, it's a big case. You can do a lot in it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a solid case. Yeah. I know you guys over in the States are fanboying the Meshify. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I like in Australia. I like the Focus G. That's like
yeah,
that's
that
king.
was
I like that case.
yeah.
Focus G was like my kind of thing from Fractal. But over there, yeah, you guys just harp on about Meshify C, Meshify
It's
C.
actually true. Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
and I've done it too. I've fanboyed behind it. I love that case.
Yeah.
I think it's great value. It prioritizes everything that should be prioritized. It's just a tiny bit too small. That's the only thing.
Okay.
I just think it's a little too small because there's some graphics cards, right? You put an AIO between, the graphics card right in the front of the case, but the Meshify is so narrow in terms of how deep it goes that sometimes you can't even fit a graphics card in there with the AIO and the fans. It's just one of those issues. How are we running on time, Brian? We doing all right?
Yeah. Sorry, I just got to
No,
do
you're good. You're
some
good. I just want to make sure we're not dragging it
maybe
out too long
like in
here.
about 20 minutes. I got 20 more minutes if
Okay.
that's cool.
Oh yeah, no, no
Um,
problem. Yeah, I'm feeling. We've
yeah,
been doing this for what,
just
an hour and a half now.
no
Uh,
well no topics, guys. No topics. This is live Q&A. Ask Greg anything. Don't ask me anything because I want yeah.
they got a lot of questions in here for you, Brian. This is good. I don't know.
But
I like this.
I'm surprised you don't get like more personal questions, like, "Yo, Greg, like, when are you getting married and stuff like that?" Like, because if I said ask me anything over at my channel, people would then they start going dirty, dude. Like,
Oh, really? Ah,
yeah,
jeez. Yeah,
you got to
no.
civil. It's good. Civil.
Yeah,
Keep it.
these guys, the ones who are willing to tune into live streams, usually they're pretty awesome. You know, they ask questions that are pertinent to the topics we discuss usually on the channel, and
Yeah.
that's all I'm really looking. They can ask personal questions too. I try to stay away from the really just like the ones that are just for
Oh,
me, but like you can talk about some stuff.
Jamie asks, is that Jamie? Jamie asks what happens during an RMA. Okay, so you go back to the manufacturer, back to the retailer. Sorry, usually you go back to the retailer. If they make you send it to the manufacturer directly, that's so dodgy. Um, Go to the retailer, say, look, this product's broken. Then the retailer will initialize the return to the manufacturer, get you a new product. Then you go pick it up from the retailer. And I've actually just got a power supply that did that. So I got to go pick that power supply up on like Monday or something. So yeah, that's how an RMA usually works. The thing about it is, the worst thing about RMA is you're without that hardware for a couple of weeks, and it sucks because you bought that piece of gear. You should be able to, you're entitled to use that. And that's what I found sucks about RMA. And yeah, I don't know. RMA sucks.
You know, I
RMA.
I kind of can't like. I almost can't blame the
It's not the retailer's fault.
retailers,
No,
and it's
not the
really. I
retailer's
mean,
fault.
but I can't blame them even. I can't even blame them for saying go to the manufacturer. Like I know it's kind of like they're just passing the buck, right? But like at the end of the day, don't they have the right to, because they don't manufacture it, right? Because if you have them RMA, then they got to go to the manufacturer themselves.
Yeah,
That or
but
they
they're
just eat
making
the
money.
cost of the
They're
product.
making money off the manufacturer's product. They're making
Sure,
their cut,
sure.
and that's the last line of business that you dealt with.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
that's
like,
yeah. But like
yeah, it's like
okay,
if I have a problem, with my car, do I go to the dealer that I bought it off, or do I go straight to the Audi headquarters in Sydney? It's
yeah, but those are still affiliated with each. Like they have direct ties. Like the retailer is just here's a retailer. This is all a retailer is. A retailer has an online infrastructure more than like Amazon, let's say. But then they have huge warehouses for basically anything you want. And
Mhm.
they say, "Hey, we have empty warehouse space. We have real estate. Send us your stuff. We'll put it online. We'll sell it for you. We'll take a cut. We'll take a storage cut, and that's it. Call it a day." Right? But
that's more drop shipping than a
well,
retailer.
well, no, retailers though. There's a big difference between retailers and manufacturers, though. I mean,
Mm.
retailers do have warranties, but it depends on how the warranty is negotiated with the distributor or with the manufacturer. Because if I just take, let's say I go buy 10 cameras from Samsung and I decide to put them all online and act as a retailer, like if someone comes back to me and says my camera is broken, I want another one, and I'm sitting on only 2 more cameras in inventory, I'm gonna have to go back to Samsung and get them to send me another camera because I'm not gonna have enough to unless I'm willing to eat the cost of that one unit to keep a satisfied customer, which would be something to debate. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I it's tough.
It's tough, yeah. See, in
I'll be honest.
Australia,
I kind of just I just
we got
disagree
this
with
whole
you to have a
retail
thing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this is one of those things. You just agree to disagree. It's probably the
Dis-
first proper disagreement
I
we've
know.
had.
I had to really stretch for this one, but I'm glad that
Yeah.
I.
You did.
I'm glad that I tried.
Okay, you got a donation from post-apocalyptic Peter. He's living in the future. He asked, would high airflow fans or the other kind be better in the Meshify? No hard drive cage in right now. Also, thoughts on GPU all-in-one. Yeah, do you want to talk about your Meshify?
Yeah, I can
I
talk
mean, I
about
can
that.
answer the
Yeah,
second one.
that's sure. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
the Meshify is.
GPU all-in-one works. That's all. It works. It just depends
Yeah.
on how much hassle and extra cost you want to spend, because most GPUs come with really awesome coolers anyway. So
Yeah.
for me, it's kind of like not worth it. But and
Loudness
usually
is a big factor
auto-
too. How loud it'll be.
yeah, as opposed to like a H110 on a CPU, you can port that from build to build to build to build to build. Um, usually your GPU all-in-one's not so portable, and it's a pain in the ass to install.
It
But
is. Yeah, it definitely is. Even if you want to do Yeah, the all-in ones for sure, like a G12, like an NZXT Kraken. Like I've done that. It's a little bit of a pain. It takes a lot longer than just install, like plug and playing a graphics card. With respect to the Meshify, I will say, yeah. I mean, if you use high airflow fans, high static pressure fans will work perfectly fine in the Meshify C. I don't think the the high static pressure fans in something like the Define C or the Define R6 with the blocked off front panel, not going to be as effective there because the airflow has to turn, remember, 90 degrees to get into the case. And then if you have a radiator in front of that as well, then you're definitely cutting back on the ability for those fans to pull in air. So,
F540, baby.
yeah.
You don't have to do anything out of it. You don't have to do anything with that case. You just put your hardware in and you just experience
Yeah.
gracious, beautiful temperatures
Yeah.
and low noise. Yeah.
Elijah Stricker, what's up, Greg? Saw your RAM pricing video, loved it. Do you think waiting for the lawsuit comes in hopes of price drops would be a smart move before buying RAM kits? Building in June with 16 gigs. Okay, we should probably highlight, like, we should talk a little bit about what this lawsuit actually is, because class action lawsuits aren't the government going to the company and saying, hey, you guys are doing this is wrong, we're going to fine you, blah, blah, blah. Class action lawsuits are usually you get like just a bunch of important people or important entities.
Yeah,
they
this
all
time
gang
around,
up, right?
HP, Dell, all those guys
Yeah.
are going to be against Samsung in this lawsuit. I guarantee you.
Yeah. Because they're huge buyers of RAM. People don't think about that. They're huge buyers of RAM because they have so many PCs and other things to send out.
Well, not only that, it's affecting the sales of their PCs. They're now going to mark their PCs up, and people have a buyer's threshold. They're not going to say like they want to buy a PC for $900, and their friend got a PC a year ago with a GTX 1060 for $900.
That's true.
It's like, I want that, and I can't get it now. It's $1,000.
Yeah.
And so that deters them from buying. That's a sale loss for HP and Dell, and they're getting really peeved off about that. It's costing them money. When it costs people like them money, and they're big corporations, they're going to go, look, let's go to town and get all these damages off these lost sales from Samsung, and that's what happens. They've already been done for price fixing. This is how bad it is.
Mm-hmm.
I hope this time they get fined so much more because they've already been guilty of this in the past.
Yeah. Yep.
Micron, Samsung,
SK Hynix. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big three.
These guys have already been found guilty of this crap, and it's like, I hope the hammer comes down on them hard this time, because it's so bad. It's disgusting. So. But yeah, apparently, guys, GPP is more important, guys. Gaming logo. Just remember that. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay. I do agree though. I think they're definitely profiting more off of this big time than they ever would have off of GPP. Dude. Like there's no equation at all that balances both of those out.
GPP, the real reason for GPP is to stop Intel when they come into the GPU market, which they are. We know Intel's coming in, is to have more market shares, to have that gaming mind share. Mind share is a big thing. These companies are fighting over mind share all the time. So NVIDIA want to build that up.
Yeah.
They want to build up that gaming NVIDIA association. So when Intel drops their R&D, which is going to be huge, when they drop their GPUs in a few years' time, NVIDIA's going to be like, well, we're already the established gaming brand. That's the pitch with GPP. And honestly, like, as much as I don't like GPP, if you're working at NVIDIA, that's a smart play.
Yeah.
Each to their own. That's all.
Yeah. One last thing I will say about the lawsuits, like these class action lawsuits they're not criminal court cases. They're civil, and the burden of evidence is on the people who are filing the suit, right? Those who are bringing on the civil case. So you have to find solid evidence that they all, and in ways that they've worded stuff. Okay, they're gonna have to do through. There's a ton of stuff that they have to do to prove this. I think it's happening. I think it's pretty obvious that it's happening, but you have to find the evidence because they're innocent until they're proven otherwise. So that's what takes a long time. I don't know if you should just wait though. I don't know if waiting for RAM prices to drop is an ideal thing because you might be waiting a long time. And people were asking about like if they expect payouts, like if they're gonna get any. Like you're gonna get maybe. I think it came out in 2006 to like a couple bucks a person. Like it was not. It was nothing substantial. Don't count on getting some money back into any substantial amount from these these companies that are literally price
Hey,
gouging.
Mario donated 100 Mexican dollars, and he said Mario Silla said, "Ask Greg if he knows why he started watching your channel. He'll get red faced."
Ask Greg if you wait. What?
Mario Silla. He says he knows. He's got some dirt on you, man. He knows personal stuff
He
on you,
says,
dude.
"I'm Mario from
Yeah.
Apple. I don't think you remember, but I ask,
Yeah.
but I can ask a few personal questions." Mario is yeah. He was on we used to do live streams with Google Hangouts. We used to actually bring people like personally into the live stream,
Oh
which was
yeah, that's
kind
right.
of
Yeah.
sketchy. Yeah, Mario was one of the guys that was on that, and he works for
Oh.
Apple. Um, he was
Ooh.
giving us the inside scoop on Apple sales and whatnot, letting us know how
Did
the
he get
iPhone 10
fired
was
after
doing.
that?
No, I think he's still working there.
Okay. Okay.
But
Hey,
he
awesome.
didn't say
Good
anything
stuff.
like super DL confidential.
Okay.
It was just more or less just like how their sales. It's probably stuff we could have looked up online if we had dug deep enough. But he was pretty forthcoming about how their sales were going, especially locally, like in a country like Mexico. Like we think about how it is here, but in a country like Mexico, still developing. You wonder how sales for expensive products like that are doing in countries like this. So he provided some pretty unique insight. So yeah, what's going on, Mario?
Yeah, I will say one thing. I've just realized one problem. Right, I've said in chats like Jags has said I ordered some GC Extreme. It's amazing, right? And I've said it's amazing. But the problem is like when we start taking sponsorships from Azeroth, Corsair, or whatever, like do people feel like when I say now GC Extreme is amazing, do people feel like, oh, he's just sponsored, he's gonna say it's amazing because he's sponsored? And like I have absolutely no contact with Gelid, absolutely none at all. I just tried their products, it's amazing. So like, do you think in ways people sort of think, oh, he's just sponsored to say that, and so we just become this sort of channel that gets we're just pushing products apparently that we're sponsored by?
Hmm.
Do you ever feel like we get that reputation or whatever? And yeah, I've got to get you to do a Xeon build as well.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm talking
the last one
behind the
I've done
scenes.
Xeon build was that
Mm,
was like three. It was a newer Xeon though. It was just an
okay,
alternative
cool.
to the i7.
Yeah.
But yeah, older Xeon. I want to do that. I want to do that little tape mod. You know what I'm saying? That
Jeez, man, these Marios are going hard on
another
Joe, man.
Mario. So what is this? This is like some joke or something, man. There's no way.
They're going, dude. They're competing. Hey, so
Oh,
Silla's
this
got to
is
up it to
great.
30, dude.
That's
Like
so
the next
funny.
donation's got to be 30. Who's going to be the
Jeez, you
like?
guys.
These are pretty big donations, man. Silla, can you up the
Wow,
donation, dude?
Morris, so we appreciate it. Just wanted to say
Yeah.
I've watched you for a long time. Love the way you analyze things. Well, thank you. I try to look at it a little differently than the typical, approach to topics because I feel like there's so many. We were just talking about. There's so many people now trying to do the same thing. You gotta find like Brian's thing for sure, and I think he'll tell you this too. Brian's is the deals. He's trying to find the best value stuff. He goes out and builds used PCs all the time. That was how I started. That was the first thing I ever watched on his channel 4 or 5 years
Jeez,
ago.
man.
Was yeah. How long have you had your channel going? How long?
I've had it for a long time, but I decided when I started doing that CS:GO potato, I was gonna actually try to be serious. Like I was actually gonna try and make proper content,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because that was right at the stage where I was gonna quit YouTube. I was like, okay, I've had a bit of fun here. It's been fun, but then I was like, okay, I got to go either one way or another because I was doing like I was probably making like a couple of $100 a month off YouTube, and that was it. And
Hmm.
I was just like, there's really no career choice here or anything like that. And I was like, well, why don't I just give it like my all? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Even though I
yeah,
was still working full-time job and stuff like that, I'll go really hard at it and see what I can do.
yeah.
And I just started putting my love and my heart and soul into it, and people just like loving it. Like button blowing up out of control. People loving the content, sharing it, all that good stuff, and yeah, it became profitable, and just kept doing it. Now we're here years later. I mean, yeah, my channel grows slowly. Like it's a slow growing movement. But I've got a lot of loyal peeps around the channel who have followed me for years, and like we're friends, like IRL as well, or we're friends. Talk a lot on the internet. It's really more of a community thing. I think my channel's become a strong community. If you come to me, you're going to get a very cynical approach. If you want the cynical approach, I'll give it to you. Like I don't buy into all that circle jerking crap that goes on. I never have. And so that's what I guess that's the appeal of my channel is just do whatever you do and do it with passion and
Hmm.
yeah,
Make it
baby,
your
passion.
own.
Yeah, passion's gonna keep you going, man. So yeah, and Frank for
It's
lols, he's right, man.
inspirational.
Like yeah, but that's the other thing is like Joker. We get talked about Joker, Joker and I had a good live stream. There was a good thing going on, People used to love that show, man. Even friends in real life said, "Dude, that show was cracking." And it was, it was cracking. Like Joker knows it was cracking too. Joker, if you're watching, you know that show was good. I knew it was good, but he went and messed it all up, man.
I
And
was
like,
on that show. I remember. That was my
yeah,
first
he's
live
just
stream ever with you
smoking
guys.
bongs, smoking bongs on stream. It's like, dude, there's got to be a limit to this crap, man. So like, like, I don't know. How's any company gonna take you seriously when you're literally pulling a bong on live stream? And I try to play along as like, ha ha ha, but really in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, shit, this is a bit full on, dude. Like, so.
Yeah. Intel has always been anti-competitive.
Oh, Mario
Interesting.
Soto, dude. Cheers, man. He's joined as a sponsor too. This guy, dude,
Yeah,
this
that's the
Mario
same.
is
Yeah.
leading
Yep.
Scylla, dude. Scylla's got to pick this up, man.
Yeah.
Soto is just like on another level, man.
Yeah.
So thanks, Soto, too. Awesome, cheat. Awesome.
Let's see here.
Uh,
Someone says people need to stop posting stupid shit on Craigslist.
dude,
have
I gotta go to the States and do a
Have
Craigslist
you
run, man.
watched Have you watched any of my I read Craigslist videos or anything like that?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I've watched like when was the last? I think I watched one on IEM because I
hmm
was just I honestly I don't have a lot of time to watch content. I just make
yeah,
content at home, but I
same.
watched your DDR thing, DDR price. That's good. Like it's finally like make noise about the DDR4 price fixing, not the GPP.
Yeah.
You know, that's way more of an issue for us as enthusiasts. DDR4 memory is crazy and it's killing a lot of builds, man. When the mining thing came out, that was killing prices too. So offered alternatives, buy some used parts.
Yeah.
Um, so
All right, we're gonna go through a
uh,
couple more questions here. I know Brian's got to head out soon. So do I. Maybe like two or three more questions. So give them the good ones. Give us the good stuff. We
yeah,
want to
give
see
Greg the
them.
goods. You talk more, dude. I'm like taking over
I
your
want to see.
stream, dude.
Nah, dude, you're good. It's about time someone else hears a voice other than my own on this stupid live stream thing.
Get
Coalition
Greg to
says,
do it. Yeah, do it, man. Coalition's amazing. He's been.
"Yeah, I
I
love
know
the
he's
I
doing
see
a lot of stuff.
Coalition a lot. Bogan
Yeah,
voice. How you say it, Bogan?
yeah, yeah. Bogan, man.
Bogan.
Dad man's a Bogan. My dad's a Bogan, dude.
What is a Bogan? Like in a nutshell, how would you describe
It's just like your version of the redneck,
it?
but
Okay, okay.
isn't rednecks are more like nationalist sort of things, yeah.
Rednecks are very
Bogan's
conservative
yeah,
usually, and like
yeah.
super like
Bogan,
pro gun,
dude,
pro
a
life,
Bogan is
pro.
just like doesn't care about anything. Like Bogan's just like whatever. I want to drink every day. That's all Bogan cares about. Like,
Sounds like a hippie, like a '70s hippie type thing for me,
man,
like a libertarian type ideology.
no,
Like,
just like Bogan's is very. I'd say more. Yeah, on average, they'd be more right wing than
yeah,
left wing for sure. But they don't care about politics. All they care about is cricket and beer.
yeah.
Like that's your typical Bogan, wife beater,
Okay,
and you know very anti-feminist too. Bogan is very anti-feminist.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's about right. I mean, literally live in an area like I live in an area called Redneck Riviera, which if there's any similarity, which it sounds like there is, I understand
Yeah.
exactly what you're talking about. I mean,
And they
there's a
love
difference between a redneck and a conservative, though. Just so you know, like
okay, well we've got like we've got Centrelink, right? It's like the dole. We call it the dole. It's like welfare, right? Public welfare.
yeah,
And it's like, dude, in Australia, it's generous, man. People just like don't want to work and they'll just go live on this crap.
hmm
And it's okay. Like if you've been in work for 3 years and you suddenly get shafted, that's what it's there for. It's there to help you transition from a job.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But people abuse it. They're like, oh man, I can't work, and they just like live off this public
Yeah, no, I
welfare.
agree.
And
There's definitely, and the argument that we
it's
have
generous
here,
too in Australia.
yeah, the argument we
So
have here is how many people actually are abusing it, and I think that there are certainly people that do. In a way, I almost don't blame them though. I mean, like if they're allowed, if they're able to figure out how to do it, then that's a problem with the system, right? I mean, that's an enabling thing.
yeah, well, the problem
So
with the system is then you got too many people who are politically correct, and they're like, oh, you can't block him off from welfare.
yeah,
It's
it's something
never
that
ending.
you there are both sides of that argument. You can't really argue with those people and those kinds of topics. It's really difficult to convince either that you're not trying to be a jackass or that you're not trying to be, uh, just a zealot for the vote or whatever your
Yeah,
argument would
exactly.
be
There's
there.
people who generally need it, and that's the thing. It's like you got to keep it for the people who generally need it. But yeah, Centrelink, the Dole, aka Centers. Yeah, you will find a lot of bogans there at Centrelink office.
Bogans. Oh, so like location wise, where are they? Like, are they in northern
For
Australia?
me, they're about half an hour up north. Like
Okay.
they shipped them all off from the Gold Coast. Like, dude, I heard this is true in America, right? Like literally, when I was in LA, I heard stories of the government having people like how to get rid of homeless people was just to get them a bus ticket and some food, and put them on a bus and ship them up to Seattle. Like,
Holy.
yeah. And dude, I remember I went to Seattle, man. It was bad, dude.
Really?
Like, I was like, whoa, what's going on here? Turn left, there's a homeless dude. Turn right, and then like at the hardware store, I went to get some materials,
Yeah.
and it was like Walking Dead, man. It was
Yeah.
like they wouldn't even need to go pay actors. They could just get some IRL footage, and they would have Walking Dead. Like, it was nuts.
Yeah.
I was like, where'd all these homeless people come
That's
from?
crazy. Well, jeez, if that's the
Yeah, like,
case, yeah.
they're telling me the D-Lo, man. I'm like, so that's how you fix homeless problems, eh? In the States, just ship them on a bus and get rid of them to another state.
It's like, well, it's probably the state of California that did that.
Oh,
California
shit.
probably just said, "Hey guys, free bus ride. We're not gonna tell you where it's going, but y'all gonna hop on, and we'll guarantee you some
Bus
other
ride
place."
to the volcano. Here you go,
Oh, man.
guys. One-way ticket. Oh yeah, give me that one-way ticket.
Oh, jeez. You ever let's see? Oh, I'm seeing a bunch of. Oh, why did that? Oh, that hidden.
Anyone with Dundee in the name's a bogan, man.
Bogan. I love that word.
Hey, mate. Yeah. Oh, dude, I'd love to have bogan meets
Mick
redneck.
Dundee.
That'd be...
Mick Dundee. Let's see here. We have. Should I get the GTX 1080 or wait? I have a 1063 gig now. Just, look, if you want to wait. I can't. We can't answer that question for you. Like you are the. You know your feelings better than anybody. If you're content with what you got now, stick with what you got now. If you desperately need something, get something. You know, like I don't know how badly you need it, so I can't answer your question.
Problem is, we're humans. You're never content with what you
Yeah,
got.
that's true. Yeah.
You always want more, man. That's why I got.
If you want something but don't need it, you don't need it. Like, don't buy it.
That's why you're going to use PC parts building. It's fun because you
true.
don't lose money. You don't really lose money if you know what you're doing. You make money, but used parts building is like to satisfy that I've got to build something every couple of weeks and just have a bit of fun and try things new. Yeah, don't do it with new parts, man. Unless you're like, unless you've got like that whole, you can whatever, you can get the distribution rates and stuff, and even then distributors will charge you like they want orders of like 1,000 or 100 CPUs or whatever. So I don't know.
Oh.
i5-84, last question. So i5-8400, Ryzen 2600, which is better? It's a very simple question. Again, I've said, me and Greg talked about this earlier in the show. Me, I'd go with gaming. I'd go 8400 if you're a gamer. Just straight up, ring bus is king. Efficiency of i5-8400 is king as well. Ryzen 2600 is good as well, but I feel that stealth cooler lets it down, so you'd want to get an aftermarket cooler and then overclock it. In that case, it's great if you want to do anything else but gaming. Very simple, but I've done more testing to pretty much solidify that recommendation of, it's a very cut and dry recommendation, but that's usually the evidence. Even the more like 1,000 FPS evidence is beginning to support that too.
To be fair, I would say that the 8400's cooler is pretty limiting too. I mean,
that's what I mean. But people argue dude, I've got a 4 cores here. I've tried all the 4 cores gaming, man. Like, who goes and buys a 1080 Ti and an 8400? I wouldn't recommend it. Go get an 8700K if you're going to get a 1080 Ti.
Yeah.
It's like you're going with a mid-range card, GTX 1060, and probably in a couple of years' time, you can upgrade your mid-range card. 8400 is still going to be absolutely fine. Mark my words. We'll come back in a couple of years' time, and whatever the mid-range graphics card is, we'll pair it up with an 8400, verse it, make it, do it a comparison with a 2600 in 2 years' time, and just see how it goes. Because I'm putting my money on 8400 still going to beat it in 2 years' time. What do you reckon? What's your prediction? That's what I mean. Let's put we got to put our predictions on the table, and then the winner gets whatever, a Jar Jar mug or something.
Oh, that's worth it. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going hard in the paint here. Yeah, basically what we were talking about earlier, right? With just the long-term viability of both. I think people have been saying for the longest time that games are gonna slowly move on to fully 6-core utilization, full 8-core utilization. Like, we've been talking about this for a long time. Extra core is so much better for the future, but like, when is that actually going to get here? Other than a few games that I can count on one hand that utilize more than 4 cores successfully, when is that going to get here?
Games.
Yeah.
They're lag.
The argument though is that when it does matter, it's going to really matter. And I think that there's a place.
Really?
There's a,
Mid-range cards again. I'm arguing the mid-range
oh,
card. You don't
mid-range
go out and
graphics
buy.
card.
You don't go out. You're not going to go out and buy 1180 Ti with an
You
8400.
talking about a graphics card or a GTX? What you talking about? GTX 1060?
Yeah, so like a 1060 with an
Oh,
84. 2 years time, the 1060 is going to be, or the 1070 is going to be. You know what I mean? That
yeah. Well,
mid-range
I
card.
think that'll be your limiting factor before the CPU is, but it'll only be the limiting factor for for
Bright,
games.
right? But I'm going
Four
to
games. Four games. I'm gonna disagree with you in part of that. Look. There's no doubt the i5-8400 is the best. It's the best of the two for gaming on almost every game out there. I've tested this. I can confirm it as well. Brian's tested it. We know the A400 is better. My argument though is that is the marginal improvement or boost in frame rate justifying a lack of multi-threading? Is it justifying a lack of overclockability? Is it justifying, the healthier upgrade path that AMD generally provides to its consumers? They've been doing that since the release of Summit Ridge.
it's ring bus, man, and that's what I mean. What you're going to find is I better get going soon. Just a sec. Last thing. It's ring bus, man. It's snappy, and it's going to be better when the game engine's more responsive.
It's snappy, but look, Ring Bus versus Infinity Fabric. Now that second gen Ryzen is so much more compatible with the higher frequency RAM out of the box, XMP profile, Ryzen second gen. Any of the CPUs I've tested from Ryzen second gen, boom, XMP easy. And I've tested like 6 RAM kits. It's so much better, and because of that, the frame rate is jumping up so much higher. Especially if you can hit 3,000, 3,200 megahertz with pretty low cast latencies. That's the limiting factor for the Infinity Fabric. It's not, the Ring Bus is fast anyway because it's not tied to memory in the same way that the Infinity Fabric is. But because we have the fast RAM support now with second gen Ryzen, I think that the argument for the Infinity or for the Ring Bus is just not there anymore. I think it ultimately now comes down to just frequency. And once Ryzen hits that 4.5, 4.6 mark my words, unless Intel's passing 5 or they got some totally new node that's pushing out some serious frames, there's going to be neck and neck competition. There already is neck and neck competition.
Okay. So Mario's like, dude, he thinks you're really cute. Like, I don't know, like Mario's gay. Like, he's just like I mean, you're married, dude. Like, sorry, Mario.
Yeah, sorry, Mario. I'm very happily married.
Yeah, sorry, dude. Anyway,
we'll just go ahead and end it there. I'd like to thank our guest Brian, who I was a guest on his show for.
Dude, I'm not gay. I've got gay friends, but I'm not gay.
Anyway. Thanks everyone for watching. I have no idea how many of you are watching. 250-ish right now. Thank you to those who decided to take the time out of the Saturday night or Sunday morning, afternoon to watch the live streams. We'll be doing this basically every Saturday or Sunday from here on out, with the exceptions of what's coming up with Computex. Hopefully, Brian wasn't scared away by you guys. Y'all are pretty sweet.
It's awesome, man. Like, I love this stream. It's good, man. We keep this up. So, like, this was very like the opposite to my stream. We talked about topics and then we just went full on personal.
I think that's better. I think we should do I think if you want to do this, we should just do the news stories on your channel because you've been doing that. You're comfortable with that, and I can just kind of fill in. And then we come over here and we just do Q&As because that's what I've been doing. Yeah. You know. So, because we didn't even get to the questions here.
I gotta get going. We might do the Patreon or sponsored stream, like whatever, if you want. Like, if you're still keen to stay up, who cares? We can keep going, and just a little bit of a bonus, you know. Then we go, like, this is like going IRL. This is when we start going like behind the scenes and talking about, like, Brian, you've been on Tinder lately, and Greg, what's
not Tinder, not Tinder. Oh man. Anyway, I'm gonna dig myself out of that hole tonight. Thanks for sticking around, Brian. We will we'll do this again next week. We'll see you guys soon.